Hello everyone, I am going to dictate you the dictation from GDBist at the speed of 105 words per minute. So be ready. 5 seconds. Start. Sir, West Bengal is the only state where at the sub-district level patients are also treated free of cost. Sir, over the last 4 years, 27,000 new beds have been added to the hospitals. 1,400 medical seats have been increased. As a result, 3,000 doctors and 3,100 nurses have been employed. While summing up my points, I would like to say that a common entrance examination might be helpful to avoid irregularity and corruption, but some important issues are to be addressed before the implementation of that. Secondly, the health services and hospitals are the responsibility of the states. So, the opinion of the state governments should be considered before any change in attempted on this issue, otherwise there might be injustice to the rural people. Thirdly, the physicians should be well acquainted with the regional language and cultural of the training patients to deliver effectively. Hence, the NEET should be conducted in all the regional languages mentioned in Schedule 8 of the Constitution. 85% seats should be reserved for the students in their state of domicile, and after obtaining the degree from a particular state and utilizing the infrastructure, the graduate and postgraduate physicians should serve that state for at least 5 years, failing which they should be asked to deposit penalty to the government of that state before leaving to other states or countries. There should be uniformity in the syllabus in all the boards across the country, at least in the science subjects. The students should be given opportunity to prepare in the same syllabus from class 11th onwards before they are instructed to appear for the NEET, which is presently only the CBSE based. There should be regulations to limit the tuition fees by the private medical colleges, otherwise they might increase their charges to compensate the capitation fees. Before concluding, I would like to say that in view of the severe shortage of the doctors, to meet the need, the government hospitals, including the district hospitals with large infrastructures, should be considered to develop graduate and postgraduate courses similar to Diploma in National Board course, which has been very successful in West Bengal. Thus, the dependence on private medical colleges might be reduced. Private medical colleges which do not have such a huge infrastructure, clinical services, patients, etc., usually invest capital for their profit only. The ESI hospitals and railway hospitals, which already have huge infrastructure, should also be considered for development of this education system. Additional grants from the central government should be sanctioned to develop the infrastructure and system instead of doing it merely from the contributions from the insured patients who are paying for their health only. Sir, I stand up in support of this bill. After all, we all know that this ordinance was absolutely necessary. There was large uproar from a wide section of society. Therefore, the government, in its wisdom, has rightly proclaimed an ordinance which is now being sought to be ratified by Parliament by way of this bill. Sir, the issue, as many members have spoken, in that in a large country with such a big population, we have had far too few medical colleges in the country. It is only in the last 15 to 20 years that we are seeing that the number of colleges has gone up, whereas historically, if you see 50 years from around independence till the early 2000 period, there have not been more than 130 medical colleges all across the country. Therefore, obviously, the ills associated with fewer seats and more applicants would definitely apply, but that has not been highlighted and voiced by many members. Even while we speak, I do not think there are more than 400 medical colleges in the country. One of the reasons has been that the criteria for setting up medical colleges have been far too stringent. Earlier, we used to need 100 acres of land for a medical college. Then, it late, there has been a reasonable relaxation in the criteria. Likewise, if there are hospitals around or if there are willing to be a part of ecosystem, etc., that has never been really adequately addressed. Therefore, even while we pass this bill, we must look at the core issue of what is the sector in terms of medical education. It is a sector which is very important. Today we have got mushrooming colleges in engineering. Today engineering is in such a situation that there are seats going vacant. In Maharashtra alone, I can count 50,000 engineering seats which are vacant while we speak. So, there are lakhs of seats across the country. But in respect of medical colleges, their situation has always been different because they have far too few colleges and per capita number of doctors in India is far too low considering the kind of poverty, disease and other issues which face and plague our nation. So, I think this should be our endeavor to increase the number of medical colleges. Sir, there is a peculiar situation. We know of students going overseas for higher studies or specialized studies. But in the case of medical colleges, people from some towns and villages also send their children abroad because they cannot get admission in the USA or the UK. They go to Russia, some go to Ukraine, and some go to China. All those kinds of countries which normally are not associated with higher education. There has been a debate on the side in respect of the Medical Council of India. It is ultimately an autonomous body set up by an Act of Parliament. How to strengthen the MCI is more important rather than tinkering with it and trying some other experiment. I just read that there is a commission of inquiry as stipulated in the Medical Council Act.